All right. World, I think we're live. Hello, world. Tara Sue Moore coming in. Maybe becoming known as the tagline from stockbroker to firewalker. Not sure I'm comfortable with that, but it's been in my background for a long, long, long time and seems to be still coming off my tongue, and it's true. I'm just heading home for the night. I have been doing really not much here, just puttering in a space and appreciating that I'm not going to be coming here to open this door tomorrow, appreciating that change is happening because I actually like the feeling of change. When it's change that feels manageable and at a measured pace. I'm not sure I have that feeling, but I'm able to sit in appreciating change. So this is my sound infusion table, which I have been doing a tremendous amount with for a number of months now, as I've talked about a few times. And essentially, when the speakers underneath that are aimed, they're going to be aimed basically right at this sphere. When those speakers come on, they vibrate very, very high quality recorded sound, recorded off Accutonics tuning forks at elite levels of quality. And so those sounds, those frequencies, those resonances, those tones literally infuse into the sphere. And then I have asked the sphere, and the sphere will generally do that without me even asking it, but I can add a little bit of intention. It will then radiate out around. And then I have on top of it, just recently added a quartz pyramid. This is a personal piece. This is a sound infusion table piece. This is a personal piece, and it's now been on here for a couple days, and I know most people don't believe me, and I wouldn't have believed me if I hadn't now experienced it so many times. But the pyramid is shifting a little bit. Parts of it are getting clearer, and it's quite fascinating because it has now a whole layer that almost looks like a separate mini pyramid on the top of it that's, gotten fascinatingly clear. Again, just more of the things that sometimes happen when you really start to play with sound in these crystals. You realize that these rocks are not as fixed as we think. So on here today, and I do feel like it's a big night again. I'm coming in from Canada, which if there's any place on the planet that I know of, any country, that at least the way I thought of it, has an abundance of resources, has a really lovely cross-section of humans whose lineage comes from all over the country, has a democracy, which I still tend to believe is the best governing form that humans have figured out yet. And so a country that really, to me, has as many of the raw ingredients as I could imagine to truly be the anchor for a different way for freedom to be experienced on this planet, maybe than it ever has been. And this country is currently in more of a state of conflict, open conflict, than I've ever experienced, and far more than I ever thought I would experience. So I've also decided that I'm doing this secretly, and I don't want to do things secretly. I would like the world to just know and see what I'm doing. If nothing else, it makes me feel safe. And I have on this table a whole lot of supporting stones. I have a number of big trigonics. Those are probably going to come up for sale, but they're not listed for sale right this minute. So trigonics, for anyone who's not familiar, upside down triangles A lot of belief that they would hold the access to what I would call unity consciousness. A consciousness that absolutely at its core recognizes that all is one. And if that is what you core source from, then you will treat others as yourself, no matter what they appear like. If there's only one, there's only one. More Lemurians, so again, that would be believed in a mystical way to be quartz crystals that carry memories of a time on this planet when all life was able to live in harmony. It's often talked about as if it's the past. I personally don't hold on to a timeline direction, but I have a number of Lemurians again on the table. I have some lithium, the anhydroagates that I was doing a huge amount of infusion with. I've just kept a couple on here. Again, the ancient wisdom of the water, orolites that have a deep connection to both Maligne Lake, the lake of the five glaciers in Jasper, and Moraine Lake in Lake Louise. So again, all right west of here. A number of dream catchers, and those are listed for sale. I'm just using a couple to support. And then what I've added today is some tumbled stone, because now with my store not open and only online, I am in a different position of what I can do with these and frankly keep straight of what's had what done to it, because that's important to me. And I've been called to take some of my stones that represent what I would call a little bit more the characteristics of the animal kingdom. And then I have all of my bronzite. I have some selenite in a spiral just to help keep everything spacious and moving. Here, I'm still supporting with the Chalcedony fairy rings, still supporting with some malachite, a little bit of lithium, some tiger eye holding space for us, a little kyanite keeping it clear, added in some selenite and red jasper at either end. You know, there's just a whole lot of, just continues getting better here. And bronzite, so there's a lot of tumbled stone here, and bronzite for me represents a lot of the sacral chakra, the second chakra stuff that's there, the shadow and the light, the shining side and the shadow side of the Empress. So the Empress on one hand is here to serve, and on the other hand, when we think of an Empress, we always see them being served. Oh, how fascinating. The martyr, I am here to serve, and I'm going to serve to a level where I completely let go of self in order to serve. It's how we actually connect and communicate both within ourselves and with others. And it's a chakra that in general here in this nation, maybe everywhere in the world, it's a set of energetics that I find often create a lot of friction between them. And I do believe that while friction in the sacral chakra area can be really quite an enjoyable and fascinating experience, that's also an area that if we could get it to come into an alive, vibrant, co-creative harmony and really merging together and finding freedom in serving and being served, both sides of it, that relationship starting to be free, not bound up by all sorts of things, that would be phenomenal for the planet. So for me, for the planet, for all life everywhere, for any planets we may be going to go colonize. So I have some bronzite on here, and then on the other side I have, these are in heart-shaped bowls. I'll take a picture from above like I always do. I have some of the animal kingdom here, and I have my lion skin jasper. So again, just picturing that the lions do actually have a very interesting relationship in the world of serving and being served. They have a different masculine and feminine relationship than we're used to, in that the women are the female lions are openly, I believe, the hunters and the predators. And then the ancient wisdom, the deep family connection over all time, the patience that goes with the gentle giants of the elephants. And I have some elephant skin jasper. So lion skin jasper and elephant skin jasper on here. And then I'm mixing that with the serpentine. And so for me, that is definitely a very earth-feeling stone, but it has that serpent feeling of transformation. And it's even named after the serpent. So Serpent represents an awful lot of things throughout mythology. What it continues to represent for me is transformation and shedding, not always at my choice. Yeah, that's what's on here for today. So I am actually going to bring on what I continue to call the freedom spiral, and I have been playing with, it's 18 different harmonics total, 2 sets of 9 in the frequency of the Fibonacci pattern. So that's 1 plus 1, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, 13 plus 8 would be 21, followed by 34, followed by 55. So that's 55 times the resonance of whatever the base frequency calculated as. I believe the Earth's ohm is calculated as a calculation based on the movement of the Earth around the sun. And I don't actually have in my conscious mind the mathematics behind the calculation of the ohm, the homing frequency for Chariklo. But I've been playing with both of these frequencies now for quite a while, and what I've realized is that when I bring all 9 of them on, and I get by the initial feeling of the sound, and I allow my body to quit fighting the sound and relax into it, that it really starts to create this fascinating movement within me. It's created and filled this whole space right now. Being in the last week of letting go of something this big that's not your choice, that you put this much into, is actually not easy. And I've been in awe at the support that I've had within my own body. And I do think a lot of it is coming through both the practices I'm doing and the support that I'm giving myself with all of these stones and sound frequencies. So I'm going to just come around. This is not translating right now well out, but I am going to come around and bring on the frequencies. So you're going to see me come in right in front of you, and I don't actually know what it's going to look like because I'm not on the other side of the camera and I have no one here to move it, but pretty sure you can see me here. Okay, and I've learned that I need to bring these on in a certain spiral. And this time I'm actually going to start with Chariklo, and I'm actually going to anchor these frequencies down. So this is new for me. Normally I start with the lowest and go up. This time I'm actually going to start at 55 and I'm going to bring it down. That's what I'm going to leave on overnight. So here we go as I bring them on. So now I have the frequencies playing. I don't know if you can see my head. I know you can see me though, and I simply am putting out the call to these stones, to the Lemurians on the table, especially you ametrine Lemurian sitting right there. A torch, an ametrine torch. I simply ask that you support this harmonic and this freedom and this spiral, and that you allow it to be infused into all parts of you as well, especially you tumbled stones, because I know that you're not staying with me. I ask that you simply be infused with this collective feeling, this essence of freedom from which we are, whether we want to or not, currently creating what the world's going to look like going forward. And I ask to all of you stones, the lion skin, the serpentine, the elephant, and the bronzite, that you immerse yourself in these vibrations, these essences of freedom. And I ask that you carry that out to whoever and whatever and wherever you eventually go. And so it is. I see energy, and when I bring these on, I'm going to bring the volume up. I recognize it doesn't sound pleasant to the ears right off the bat. but there's a completeness for me that's pleasant on my body underneath what's on my ears. To everyone out there who's listened to this, please, by all means, supporting with your own freedom spiral for anyone anywhere on this planet who right this minute is not feeling free. Now I have to walk around and turn it off. Doing live solo. Crystals haven't figured out how to help me here. See everyone tomorrow.